Introduction: the battlefield of the modern mind. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words were not written by a 21st century self-help guru, but by the most powerful man on earth in his time, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor of Rome. He ruled during wars, plagues, and political betrayals, yet his greatest battle was not against barbarians at the empire's borders. It was against his own mind, fought within the pages of his personal journal, which we know today as Meditations. Do you know the visceral feeling of a cluttered mind? The frustration of a brain that feels like a poorly tuned radio, full of static and white noise? The silent agony of indecision, or the analysis paralysis that freezes your movements? We live in an era of overthinking. We have all been in this maze, replaying conversations that happened 10 years ago, anticipating catastrophes that will never occur, and trying to solve impossible what-if equations in the sleepless hours of the morning. Today, we won't just list quick tips. We are going to dive deep into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. We will deconstruct the architecture of anxiety and rebuild your mental peace with 10 robust, time-tested strategies to conquer the tyranny of excessive thinking. If you are looking not just for temporary relief, but for a restructuring of your psyche to reclaim your mental territory, this is your definitive guide. Strategy 1. Cognitive dissociation, facing anxiety as an intruder. Overthinking, or hyperanalysis, rarely arrives with a warning. It sneaks up on you, like a dense fog descending on a road that, minutes before, was sunny. It starts with a harmless seed, a small doubt, a slight criticism, but if unchecked, it expands virally until it topples your emotional stability. In today's hyper-connected world, we are bombarded by information as if we were unsheltered in a hailstorm. Our minds become saturated with what comes next, or what did I miss? Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This leads us to our first and fundamental technique, visualizing the external force. This doesn't mean creating a civil war inside your head. It's not about hating your thoughts. It is about strategic dissociation. You need to recognize that these wandering, anxious thoughts are not you. They are temporary invaders in the sanctuary of your mind. The mountain and clouds exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that your essence, your consciousness, is a colossal mountain. It is ancient, made of solid rock, rooted in the depths of the earth, majestic and immovable. Now, visualize your obsessive thoughts as clouds circling the summit. Some are dark and stormy, fear. Others are white and fast, anxiety. The mountain does not try to grab the clouds. The mountain does not scream at the clouds to go away. The mountain simply is. It watches the clouds pass. Stoicism teaches us the art of observation without emotional engagement. Imagine placing each worrisome thought inside a soap bubble or on a paper boat floating down a stream. Watch them float away. This mental exercise not only alleviates the immediate weight but trains your brain to understand a neurological and philosophical truth. Thoughts are transient events. They are not facts. They can only disturb your peace if you invite them in, serve them tea, and offer them a room to sleep in. By practicing this separation, you create a shield of detachment. When the noise begins, pause and label it. This is just noise. This is not me. By doing this, you protect your inner citadel. Strategy 2. The art of focused action, redirecting the vital flow. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a mental vortex, going down the rabbit hole of apocalyptic scenarios? It is the open tab syndrome. Imagine your brain as a web browser with 50 tabs open, all freezing, and one of them playing loud music that you can't turn off. This cognitive multitasking drains your mental battery and leaves you exhausted before the day even begins. The modern pressure to be always on creates a relentless cycle of rumination. But just as a desk cluttered with old papers and dirty coffee cups blocks your productivity, a cluttered mind blocks your serenity. Seneca, the great Stoic statesman and playwright, wove pure wisdom when he stated, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." How do we apply this? The cure for overthinking is deliberate action. To staunch the hemorrhage of mental energy, You must anchor yourself in the physical, the tangible, the now. The brain struggles to maintain two intense states simultaneously: anxious hyper-rationalization and deep concentration on a manual task. The anchoring practice. When you feel the spiral begin, choose a task, no matter how small, and execute it with total devotion. Don't just wash the dishes. Feel the temperature of the water, the texture of the sponge, the sound of the plates. Organize a drawer. Take a vigorous walk, focusing only on your breathing and the impact of your feet on the ground. These acts require presence. They pull you from tomorrow, which doesn't exist, and yesterday, which is already dead, into the only moment you possess. By aligning your thoughts with your hands, you retake command. The goal is not to suppress thoughts. That is impossible, like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The goal is to manage the flow. Think of it as training an athletic muscle. The more you exercise the power to redirect your focus from the abstract to the concrete, the more resilient your mind becomes. The overwhelming tide of thoughts is tamed, wave by wave, through intentional action. Strategy 3. The flow of the river. Embracing radical impermanence. Let's face the brutal reality. Our minds have a tendency to get sticky. They fixate on an event, a social gaffe, a mistake at work, an unanswered message, and replay it in an eternal loop. This affects students before exams, CEOs before meetings, and parents worried about their children's future. Epictetus, the slave who became one of the greatest Stoic masters, told us, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." Although it seems morbid, the core of this message is impermanence. In Buddhism, this is seneca. In Stoicism, it is the recognition of the universe's constant flux. Everything changes. Empires fall, stars explode, seasons shift. Why would your thoughts be eternal? The error of the overthinker is treating a passing thought as if it were a permanent tattoo on the soul. The method of active detachment. Embracing impermanence requires the practice of mental decluttering. It is a cognitive cleanup. You must learn to consciously let go. Visualize your mind as a rushing river. Each thought is a leaf fallen from a tree touching the water's surface. The leaf touches the water, spins for a moment, and is carried away by the current. You are on the bank, watching. You don't jump into the water to save the leaf. You don't try to stop the river. You let it go. This visualization instills a deep understanding. The nature of thought is movement, not stagnation. Making this a daily routine transforms your relationship with your mind. Letting go is not giving up, it is an act of supreme courage. It means you refuse to let obsolete thoughts live in your head rent-free. Over time, you will notice something extraordinary: an empty space. A silence that was always there but was buried under the rubble of mental noise. It is in this silence that your true intelligence resides. Strategy 4. The containment protocol. Creating a worry period. It is a universal experience. Background worry. That constant hum, like an old refrigerator, that never stops. It is there when you try to work, when you try to laugh with friends, and, cruelly, when you lay your head on the pillow. Our mind becomes a stage where uninvited actors, worries, perform tragedies ceaselessly. Epictetus, with his characteristic frankness, suggested, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This is an invitation to abandon the pretense of having control over everything. Often, we ruminate because we think that if we stop worrying, something bad will happen, as if our worry is what keeps the plane in the air. This is a fallacy. The anxiety scheduling technique. To break this cycle, use a behavioral psychology tactic aligned with Stoicism, the worry period. Do not try to banish worry. It will return with greater force. Instead, schedule it. Set a time, say, 4:30 p.m., for 20 minutes. Postpone rumination. If a worry arises at 10 a.m., mentally note it or write it down and say, "I will deal with you at 4:30 p.m. Immersion. When 4:30 p.m. arrives, sit down and worry intensely. Dive into the fears. Write them down. Analyze the worst-case scenarios. Ask, what is the real probability of this happening? What can I do right now? Closure. When the timer goes off, close the notebook. It's over. The worry shift has ended. By compartmentalizing, you reclaim the other 23 hours and 40 minutes of your day. You teach your brain that there are boundaries. Worries, when confined to a specific playpen, lose the ability to contaminate your entire existence. Life becomes lighter when the baggage is carried for only a few minutes, not the entire day. Strategy 5. The micro-action, decomposing the monolith. When rumination strikes, problems seem gigantic. We feel like Atlas, carrying the celestial sphere on our backs. The scale of our worries seems to match the weight of the world. We are crushed by the heavy cloud of complexity. In the corporate and personal world, the pressure for excellence generates paralysis. The fear of taking the wrong step prevents us from taking any step at all. Marcus Aurelius, who commanded armies, knew that great campaigns were won one day at a time. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the secret to transforming overwhelming thought into progress. Granular decomposition. The next minimum step technique. Don't look at the top of the ladder. You will get dizzy. Look at the rung in front of you. When your mind is spinning with a complex project or a life problem, take a mental knife and slice the problem. Ask, what is the smallest physical action I can take right now to move this 1 millimeter forward? It's not write the book, it's write a sentence. It's not fix the relationship, it's send a good morning text. Focusing on a micro-action drains energy from worrying and injects it into doing. It is like untangling a gigantic fishing knot. You don't pull everything at once, you loosen one small loop at a time. The beauty of this technique lies in its humility. Small steps build kinetic momentum. Action cures fear. Upon looking back, that mountain of anxiety will have transformed into a pile of pebbles that you have already left behind, step by step. Strategy 6. The alchemy of gratitude, shifting the lens. The human mind has an evolutionary negativity bias. We are programmed to detect threats, which was useful in the African savanna but is disastrous in the modern office. Our mind lures us into a maze of scarcity. What we lack, what we lost, what we have yet to achieve. It is a loop of chronic discontent. Seneca warns us again about the madness of delaying life. The cure for scarcity is not material abundance, but perceptive abundance. The perspective shift. Gratitude in Stoicism is not just saying, thank you. It is an active practice of recognizing value. Practice negative visualization, premeditatio malorum, in reverse. Imagine that you lost everything you have today, your health, your loved ones, your home. Feel the pain of that loss. Now, open your eyes and realize, you still have all of this. This generates explosive and immediate gratitude. To make this practical and daily, identify 3 anchors of gratitude. The taste of hot coffee. The comfort of your hoodie. The fact that your lungs are breathing effortlessly. This practice pulls you out of anxious abstraction and plants you in the rich soil of the now. Gratitude magnifies the positive and rewires the neural pathways of the brain. You stop being a hunter of problems to become a collector of blessings. This builds a foundation of contentment that sustains you through inevitable ups and downs. Strategy 7. The dichotomy of control, effort versus outcome. The root of almost all anxiety is the desire to control the uncontrollable. Overthinking is often the mind's desperate attempt to manipulate the future through the brute force of thought. We live in a society obsessed with results, metrics, and KPIs, where the end justifies the means. This terrorizes us with the possibility of failure. Epictetus gave us the most powerful tool in the Stoic arsenal, the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Under our control, our judgments, our intentions, our effort, our ethics. Out of our control, reputation, wealth, the weather, the economy, other people's reactions, and the final result of our actions. The archer metaphor. Imagine an Olympic archer. He controls the training, the quality of the bow, the tension of the string, his breathing, the aim, and the exact moment of release. But the instant the arrow leaves the string, he no longer has control. A gust of wind might deflect it. The target might move. If the archer links his self-worth to hitting the bullseye, he will be a slave to anxiety. If he links his self-worth to firing the best arrow possible, he is invincible. Apply this. When you are ruminating about a presentation or a date, ask, did I prepare my best? Is my intention virtuous? Am I acting according to my values? If the answer is yes, your work is done. The rest belongs to fate. Focusing on the process frees you from the chains of the outcome. It transforms your actions from mere means to an end into expressions of character. Strategy 8. The vaccine of resilience, voluntary discomfort. Often, we overthink because we are terrified of discomfort. Our comfort zone has become a padded prison. We fear the cold, hunger, ridicule, poverty. We ruminate to try to predict and avoid any unpleasant sensation. Marcus Aurelius said that, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. You must be prepared for impact, not just for a smooth rhythm. To armor your mind against the fear of discomfort, you must inoculate yourself with small doses of it. This is psychological Mithridatism, immunity through exposure. Hardening exercises. Practice voluntary discomfort to show your primitive mind that you can survive. Take a cold shower in the morning and watch your mind scream to get out. Stay. Breathe. Practice intermittent fasting and feel hunger without reacting to it immediately. Sleep one night on the floor or without a pillow. Leave the car at home and walk or use public transport on a rainy day. By intentionally disrupting your routine, you realize that the boogeyman of discomfort is not as scary as your hyperactive mind projects. You build mental calluses. Your mind becomes less reactive to unexpected changes and more focused on your ability to endure. This destroys the foundation of excessive thinking, the fear of fragility. Strategy 9. The view from above, cosmic perspective and transience. When we are trapped in the hurricane of rumination, we suffer from temporal and spatial myopia. We zoom in excessively on trivial details. A criticism from a colleague seems like the end of the world. A financial setback seems like an eternal catastrophe. We lose perspective. Seneca wrote, "We are not given a short life but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied but wasteful of it. And we waste much of it, anguished over trifles." The view from above exercise. To neutralize this, perform the view from above exercise. Imagine rising out of your body. Rise to the roof of your house. See your neighborhood. Go higher. See your city, small like a map. Rise to the stratosphere. See the continent. See the earth, a pale blued in the vast blackness of space. Now, look at the timeline. Think of the billions of years before you were born and the billions that will come after you are gone. Think of civilizations that built monuments that are now dust. On this cosmic scale, what is the importance of that embarrassing message you sent? What is the real weight of your current worry? This is not to generate nihilism or say that nothing matters. It is to generate freedom. Most of our problems are transient and insignificant in the grand scheme. By contemplating the transience of life, memento mori, you naturally prioritize what is vital. Loving, acting with virtue, being present. The rest is noise. Strategy 10. The Council of Sages, seeking external wisdom. Finally, the mind of the overthinker is often a closed echo chamber. We try to solve the puzzle using the same pieces that created the confusion. The cycle starts and ends within the skull, with no air vent. Seneca advised, consult your friend on everything, especially on those matters concerning yourself. His counsel may then be useful where your own self-love might impair your judgment. We are social animals. Stoicism is not a philosophy for solitary hermits. It is a philosophy of connection. Seeking external insights breaks the vicious cycle of rumination. The mentorship practice. Don't try to carry the world alone. The living mentor. Seek out a trusted friend, a therapist, or a mentor. By verbalizing your thoughts, you are forced to structure them. Often, the solution appears just by the act of speaking aloud. Objective feedback pierces the bubble of your cognitive distortion. The silent mentor. If you have no one to turn to personally, turn to the illustrious dead. Read. What would Seneca do in this situation? What would Marcus Aurelius write about your problem? Literature is a conversation with the greatest minds in history. Sharing the burden is not weakness, it is strategic intelligence. Recognizing that our perspective is limited and seeking external light is the final step to stepping out of the shadows of excessive thinking. Conclusion: the continuous walk. We have reached the end of our journey through the 10 strategies. But reading is just the map. You still need to walk the territory. Which of these methods resonated most deeply with your current battle? Perhaps it is the view of the mountain, or the practice of discomfort, or the simple gratitude for morning coffee. Remember, Stoicism is not a magic pill you take once to be cured. It is a daily bath. It is a constant exercise. There will be days when you fail, when the mind wins. And that's okay. As Marcus Aurelius said, when you are jarred by circumstances, revert to yourself as soon as possible. These insights are stepping stones. If you value the pursuit of wisdom and serenity, persist on this path. The citadel of your mind can be reconquered, brick by brick, thought by thought. Be the mountain. Let the clouds pass.